Welcome back to Business Champions, part of the Daily News Network. I'm Brian Sexton, your host, and we have some great shows lined up for you in the next coming days. But we're going to start with Petite to Queen, and that is Lynn Whitbeck. And she is the joyful sales professional. And look, we can see it in your face right there. You're a happy person anyway, but you love sales and you think everybody should. So talk to me about the joy that sales brings to you.
Well, sales is truly a gift. It's how we help and serve our clients and create lasting impact. So if you truly believe in your product or service, then you should be helping people. You should be selling your product or service to make their business better, their life better, things better for their community, their team. And that's what it's all about.
Something that you've said is you're there to solve, not to sell. Tell me about that mindset and the challenges that you face with good salespeople and helping them become problem solvers and not just salespeople. How do you do that?
Well, the first thing is you have to come with worthy intent. And this means that you truly desire to help and serve others. You're curious, you want to learn more, and you're going to ask that second question, like, tell me more, help me understand, so you can really understand what is happening for your client so that you can point them to the right product or service. You can also determine if that's a good fit, that they're a good fit for your company, that you're a good fit for them, because then that's a win-win, right? And so when you truly are coming with that attitude, it changes everything, because now you're a partner. You are truly working with them to make something better.
How you just explained it, Lynn, is both elemental, right? It's common sense, but it's also revolutionary because not enough people take that mindset. So tell me, how do you take someone from being a salesperson to being a problem solver? What's the process that you use?
Well, the very first thing is you have to start with thinking like your client. Far too often, people are focused on what they sell, or what matters to them. And I've got news for you. It's your prospect that makes the decision to buy. So the first thing is you've really got to start thinking like your client. And that is all the way through the sales relationship, from the first time you attract and connect with someone to when you're doing a presentation, a discovery call, whatever that process is, your follow-up, then the yes, and onboarding or executing on your promise as a brand or organization. And then eventually, of course, it's getting more business, getting those valuable referrals and turning those clients into raving fans.
So how does your process work best? Are you a one-on-one sales coach, or is this something you get in front of teams of salespeople? Where do you see the best results?
So I'm a sales consultant. And the first place that we start is I do work with teams and I work with individual business owners. It really depends on where the business is at. Some businesses are smaller and the business owner is still wearing that sales hat, but they need to create a consistent, repeatable, scalable process so they can bring salespeople on who can hit the ground running and be really successful. With businesses that already have that sales team, what we're really looking at is making that process so that everyone has a roadmap to follow so they can be even more successful, rather than all these mini entrepreneurs doing their own thing. So we're not trying to put them into a box, but we're giving them the guardrails and the guidelines so they can be truly representing the company and the vision and mission of that organization so that they can really perform at the highest level and to be able to sell that product or service and make a difference in the lives and businesses of their clients.
A few more questions for Lynn Whitbeck of Petite to Queen. When you get someone over the hump, when you've got them to be a joyful solutions machine instead of just a selling machine, Lynn, do they stay there, or is this a constant process of working on yourself? Because we all know how the sales process can go. One or two bad appointments can send some people into the tank.
So when you have this, revolutionary mindset, of course, there's things that you got to remember. You got to get back to basics from time to time. And yeah, a no is a no for now. I want everyone to remember that. It's rarely a no forever. And sometimes a business isn't just a good fit. However, they could become a strategic partner or a platform. There's other ways that that relationship can thrive. So that's A. B is that you do have to remind yourself, we get distracted, we get really, really busy, and we go through those peaks and valleys, but we've got to get back to basics like doing our follow-up, doing the right outreach, making sure that we're connecting and building those relationships, because at the end of the day, there's literally an equation and it's sales equals relationships. So as you build those relationships, they become your clients, they become power partners, they become referral partners, they become platforms for you to talk about your product or service and how you help and serve people.
Lynn, final thought. We have salespeople who watch this show on a regular basis, who are good, who want to be great. We have business owners who are looking to take their sales to a completely different level. So how about one tip, one thing that someone can do today to have a better result in their next sales experience?
All right. One tip is I want to tell you about a follow-up strategy, because when you do not follow up, which most people don't, you're giving your sale to the competition, period. So what this is called a dynamic duo or a triumphant triangle. So it's either a 2-step or a 3-step. The first thing you do is you pick up the the darn phone. Okay. I want you to call that prospect. Lead with the value. What matters to them? What's in it for them? What are you there to tell them about? 60 seconds or less. I have got this amazing white paper that just came out that showcases how 39% of the people who implemented this program received this type of benefits, whatever it is. I'm spitballing here, right? I'm going to drop this in an email, and it's going to be in your inbox. Okay, Brian? This is Lynn Whitbeck with Petite to Queen. You know my digits, 206-498-5122. So first, lead with value, not your name, not that you're following up. Lead with the value. Why does it matter to them? You grab their attention. First name, what's the value? You're going to drop it in an email. Then you slow your cadence with your name and your digits, right? Then you hit send on that email because you've already assembled the email. And this is what you do when you create a process. You build out these templates so you know what to grab. You've already got all these assets. It could be a blog post. It could be a short video. It could be a white paper. It could be a new study, something. You just have those ready to go. And then you just populate it, you customize it, and 5 minutes later, you've done a 2-step dynamic duo where you've sent them a voice message. You assume that you're going to get a voice message, but you're ready to talk to them if they answer the phone. And then you send the email. Now, the 3-step, if you do a triumphant triangle, is it depends on your business cadence. In many B2B environments, that's going to be 3 business days later. You're either going to text and or DM them. Now, once again, I recommend using your phone and leaving it as a voice message, whether it's a text or if you're on LinkedIn, you use the app and you DM them the exact same message. Okay. People have the attention span of an amoeba, and they may not have heard it on the voicemail, but they hear it on the DM, or they notice the email, but not the others. But what happens is even when they don't respond, they heard you, and you're establishing what it's going to be like to work with you. You're there to serve them. You're there. You're credible. You're bringing them value, and you're following up. You're showing up for them. And then you wait on your cadence, whether it's a week and a half, and you go to the next step in your follow-up. When you follow up, you will close more sales. It's simple math. Because so many people fail to follow up, and 80% of the sales are made by the 20% of the people who follow up.
Solve problems, don't just sell, and lead with joy. From Lynn Whitbeck, Petite to Queen. Lynn, thanks for joining us on Business Champions. We hope you'll come back again. And that'll do it for this edition. We'll see you next time. here on the Daily News Network.
BizBuy Pro supports individuals through the acquisition process in many ways. First and foremost, we can find a business for you. You come to us and you give us the parameters geographically, size, like maybe 2 million in revenue, and maybe an area. You want to be a plumbing contractor, and we'll go find that for you. I think really the most important thing from BizBuy Pro is after you find that business, working through the valuation, how much you're paying for it. As I always say, you don't make money when you sell, you make money when you buy.